My friends, life is not waiting for you. It is happening right now. Every moment you waste in doubt, fear, or hesitation is a moment stolen from your destiny. Success is not something you chase. It is something you align with. When your heart, your actions, and your vision walk in the same direction, success becomes inevitable. Success is alignment, not chasing. When most people hear the word success, their first thought is of constant running, endless grinding, chasing goals with everything they have. They picture themselves working harder than everyone else, staying up later, sacrificing sleep, and never stopping until they finally arrive at some destination. But this belief is an illusion. Success is not a finish line that you reach by chasing. It is a state of being that you step into when your heart, your vision, and your actions are aligned with each other. The moment you begin chasing, you create distance between yourself and success. You make it something far away, always just beyond your reach. You say to yourself, I am not enough yet. I must chase, I must run, I must force my way. And so you run faster, only to find that success runs faster too. This cycle never ends. The harder you chase, the more you reinforce the idea that it is not already within you. Alignment is different. Alignment begins when you quiet the noise and listen to your own truth. It is when your vision is clear, your actions support that vision, and your heart has the strength to carry it through. When these three elements align, you no longer need to chase anything. You attract, you draw opportunities, people, and moments toward you because your life is moving in one unified direction. Think of a river flowing toward the ocean. The water does not chase the ocean. It does not force itself to run faster. It simply flows, guided by gravity, and inevitably it arrives. In the same way, alignment allows your life to flow naturally towards success without frantic chasing. People who spend their lives chasing often live in exhaustion. They believe their worth is measured by how much they achieve, how busy they look, or how many hours they sacrifice. But they miss the deeper truth. Success is not about exhausting yourself into achievement. It is about becoming someone who moves in harmony with what they are meant to do. When you align yourself, even your smallest actions carry weight. A single hour of aligned work can accomplish what 100 hours of frantic chasing cannot. Alignment also requires honesty. Many people chase goals that are not even their own. They run after dreams inherited from society, family, or peers, believing that if they achieve them, they will feel fulfilled. Yet when they finally arrive, they discover emptiness. Alignment means asking, is this truly my path? Does this vision belong to me? Because success without alignment is simply achievement without fulfillment. You can win by chasing, but you will not feel whole. True alignment happens when your heart believes in the vision, when your mind is clear about the path, and when your actions consistently reflect both. If any one of these is missing, you slip back into chasing. If the heart is not in it, you will force yourself to act, and every step will feel heavy. If the vision is unclear, you will run in circles, mistaking movement for progress. If the actions do not match, then your dreams remain locked in your mind, while your days are spent on distractions. Alignment is all three: heart, vision, action, moving in harmony. The reason alignment is more powerful than chasing is because chasing is based on fear, while alignment is based on trust. Chasing says, if I do not run, I will never get there. Alignment says, if I walk in truth, I cannot miss what belongs to me. One is desperate energy, the other is steady power. When you chase, you attract resistance because you are forcing life. When you align, you dissolve resistance because you are moving with life. Success is alignment, not chasing. It is not about running endlessly towards something distant, but about becoming someone who naturally moves in the same rhythm as their destiny. It is when your heart is steady, your vision is focused, and your actions are clear, that success becomes inevitable. It cannot be otherwise, because you are no longer divided within yourself. You are whole, and wholeness always attracts completion. Inner strength sustains achievement. Many people believe that the secret to lasting success is found in external factors, money, connections, opportunities, or luck. They spend their lives searching for something outside themselves that will secure their future. But external achievements, no matter how great, cannot hold their place if the inner foundation is weak. A person may reach the top of their field, they may accumulate wealth, they may even gain recognition, but without inner strength, all of it eventually crumbles. Inner strength is the unseen force that sustains what you build. It is the quiet stability that keeps you grounded when storms come, and storms always come. When people rely only on external success, they often find themselves empty when challenges appear. They fall into despair because their sense of self-worth was tied to what they achieved rather than who they became. Inner strength is what protects you from collapsing under pressure. It gives you resilience when others would quit. It is the invisible armor that allows you to continue forward when the path grows heavy and uncertain. Without it, success is fragile. With it, even failure becomes a stepping stone. Inner strength begins with the mind. The ability to remain calm when life shakes you is not given, it is trained. You cultivate it in moments of struggle, in moments of doubt, in moments when everything in you wants to give up, but you choose to hold on a little longer. Each time you choose perseverance over surrender, your inner strength grows. It becomes part of you, like a muscle that develops through resistance. That is why difficulty is not your enemy, it is your training ground. Those who avoid pain never develop the strength to carry great success, because success itself demands weight. Inner strength also comes from clarity of values. If you do not know who you are or what you stand for, success will confuse you. It will tempt you to compromise, to lose yourself in the noise of expectations. But when you know your values, when your principles are unshakable, then success does not own you, you own it. Your inner strength becomes a compass that keeps you aligned, preventing you from being carried away by distractions, temptations, or the opinions of others. Another element of inner strength is emotional balance. Many people rise quickly only to fall just as quickly because they cannot master their emotions. Anger, pride, fear, and doubt sabotage their achievements. They make impulsive decisions, they burn bridges, they lose focus, and eventually, what they worked for slips away. Emotional control is not suppression, it is mastery. It is the ability to feel deeply without being ruled by those feelings. Inner strength allows you to carry both joy and pain without losing yourself. It allows you to remain steady in praise and in criticism, in victory and in defeat. There is also a spiritual dimension to inner strength. It is the trust in something greater than yourself, the awareness that you are part of a larger design. When you carry this awareness, you stop fearing loss because you know that every ending carries a hidden beginning. This spiritual strength makes you unbreakable because no external circumstance can touch the core of your being. Even when life takes from you, it cannot take the strength that comes from within. Inner strength sustains achievement because achievements test you as much as failures do. People often believe only failure is difficult, but success brings its own challenges. When you succeed, people expect more from you. They watch you, they judge you, they envy you. Success can isolate you, it can overwhelm you, it can tempt you into arrogance. Without inner strength, these hidden weights will crush you. But when your strength comes from within, you are not shaken by external noise. You remain rooted, and because of that, you can hold on to the achievements you worked for. The truth is, anyone can achieve for a moment. With effort, with luck, with the right timing, people can rise. But sustaining that rise, carrying it with grace, and continuing to grow without breaking, that belongs only to those whose foundation is inner strength. It is not built in the spotlight, it is built in silence, in struggle, in discipline, and in the decisions no one else sees. It is not given by success, it is what makes success last. Silence reveals the true path. In the noise of life, it is easy to become lost. Everywhere around you, voices compete for your attention. The expectations of family, the demands of society, the endless distractions of the world. They all speak so loudly that your own inner voice is drowned out. You rush to keep up with others, to meet standards that were never truly yours. And in doing so, you begin to forget who you are. The truth is that the path you are meant to walk is not found in the noise. It is found in the stillness. Silence is not emptiness, it is clarity. It is the space where you can hear what has always been speaking to you, but which you have ignored. When you sit in silence, you begin to notice the subtle pull of your own heart. You begin to hear the quiet whispers of your intuition. These whispers are not dramatic or forceful, which is why they are so easily missed when the world is loud. Yet they are the most honest guides you have. The mind can be deceived, persuaded, or pressured, but the heart carries truth that cannot be manipulated. Silence is the doorway to that truth. In silence, you also begin to see how much of your life has been lived on autopilot. You recognize the routines you never questioned, the choices you made only because they were convenient, the paths you followed because everyone else seemed to walk them. Without silence, you keep moving forward without ever asking whether the direction is even right for you. But when you stop and allow stillness, questions rise within you. Do I really want this? Does this path bring me closer to my purpose? Or am I simply moving because I am afraid to stop? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are necessary because they reveal whether you are living authentically or merely existing. Silence also gives you strength. When you are silent, you no longer need to react to everything around you. You stop wasting energy on noise that does not matter. In silence, you learn patience. You learn that not every battle deserves your response. Not every opinion requires your defense. Not every distraction deserves your time. This restraint builds power inside you because your focus sharpens on what is essential. You begin to walk straighter, lighter, more deliberately. Many people fear silence because it confronts them with themselves. In silence, there are no excuses, no masks, no distractions. You see your fears, your wounds, your doubts. But this confrontation is what sets you free. By facing the parts of yourself you usually avoid, you dissolve their control over you. Silence becomes the space of healing, because in stillness you can finally observe without judgment and release what no longer serves you. The true path cannot be discovered by copying others. It cannot be forced through endless activity. It must be revealed, and revelation happens in silence. Think of a muddy pond. When disturbed, it is cloudy and unclear, but when left in stillness, the dirt settles and the water becomes clear. Your life is the same. As long as you are constantly moving, constantly chasing, constantly listening to everything outside, your path will remain clouded. But when you allow yourself to be silent, clarity rises from within, and suddenly you can see. Silence also strengthens your connection with the present moment. In noise, your mind is always somewhere else, worrying about tomorrow or replaying yesterday. In silence, you return to now. You notice your breath, your body, your thoughts as they come and go. This presence reveals that the path is not far away. It is here, unfolding step by step. The true path is not something you find one day in the future. It is something you uncover right now, in the awareness that silence brings. Silence reveals the true path, not because it gives you all the answers, but because it allows you to hear the questions that matter. It strips away what is false, what is borrowed, what is unnecessary, until only what is real remains. And what is real has always been there, waiting for you to listen. Courage demands sacrifice. The idea of courage is often romanticized as bold action, heroic leaps, or fearless decisions. But in truth, courage is quieter and heavier than most people imagine. Real courage is not simply about daring to act. It is about what you are willing to give up in order to remain true to yourself and your vision. Every great step forward requires leaving something behind. It may be comfort, approval, certainty, or even people you love. This is why courage is rare. Many desire change, many dream of success, but few are willing to endure the sacrifices it demands. Courage demands the sacrifice of comfort first. Human nature longs for safety, for routines that feel familiar, for environments that give the illusion of control. But courage asks you to leave the known and step into the unknown. It means choosing growth over comfort, even when comfort feels easier. The path of courage often begins when you walk away from what is safe, when you decide that comfort is no longer enough for the person you are becoming. Comfort keeps you still, courage pushes you forward. Courage also demands the sacrifice of approval. To live with courage means you will often stand alone. You will be misunderstood, judged, or even rejected by those who cannot see what you see. The opinions of others can weigh heavily on your decisions if you let them. Many people abandon their dreams simply because they fear disapproval. But courage asks you to bear the weight of judgment without bending, to trust your own vision even when no one claps for you. It is the sacrifice of fitting in so that you can truly stand out. There is also the sacrifice of certainty. People crave guarantees, a promise that their efforts will succeed, that their risks will pay off. But courage requires walking without that guarantee. It is stepping into darkness, guided only by faith in yourself and in the process. You cannot see the entire road before you. You may not know what the next turn will bring. To move forward anyway, to choose uncertainty over stagnation, is one of the greatest sacrifices courage demands. Courage often asks for the sacrifice of pride as well. Growth requires failure, and failure wounds the ego. Many people cling to pride, unwilling to risk looking foolish, unwilling to be vulnerable enough to fall. But courage embraces the possibility of falling, because it knows that falling is not the end. Pride says, do not risk, protect your image. Courage says, risk everything. Your image is not who you are. By letting go of pride, you open yourself to lessons that success alone cannot teach. Relationships, too, may be among the sacrifices courage demands. There are times when those around you are not aligned with your vision. Their doubts, fears, or limitations begin to pull you down. Courage does not mean abandoning people carelessly, but it does mean recognizing when holding on to certain connections keeps you from moving forward. To release someone you love, because the path requires it, is one of the most painful sacrifices, but also one of the most courageous. Not every person can walk every part of your journey with you. Time and energy are sacrifices courage constantly asks for. You cannot hold on to everything while chasing your calling. Courage means sacrificing endless distractions, empty habits, and wasted hours, choosing instead to pour yourself into what matters most. This sacrifice is not dramatic, it is daily. It is the willingness to give up short-term comfort for long-term meaning, to exchange fleeting pleasures for lasting growth. What makes courage powerful is that each sacrifice transforms you. The moment you sacrifice comfort, you gain resilience. The moment you sacrifice approval, you gain authenticity. The moment you sacrifice certainty, you gain faith. The moment you sacrifice pride, you gain wisdom. The moment you sacrifice what holds you back, you gain freedom. Every sacrifice courage demands is not truly a loss, but an exchange, trading the shallow for the deep, the temporary for the eternal, the easy for the meaningful. Success is transformation, not a race. Many people think of success as a competition, a contest where the fastest, the loudest, or the most visible wins. They compare their timeline to others, measuring their worth by how quickly they achieve milestones. If someone else accomplishes something sooner, they feel behind. If they themselves succeed later, they feel as though they have failed. But success was never meant to be measured by speed. It is not about how quickly you arrive at the destination. It is about who you become on the journey. The true meaning of success is transformation, the gradual unfolding of your character, your wisdom, and your spirit into the highest version of yourself. When you treat success as a race, you live in constant exhaustion. You are always running, always striving, always anxious that someone else is ahead. This mindset leads to emptiness, because no matter how far you go, there will always be someone who seems to be further. The pursuit never ends, and the joy of living disappears. But when you see success as transformation, the pressure lifts. You realize that your journey is unique, that your timing is your own, and that growth cannot be compared. What matters is not speed, but depth. Transformation means that every challenge, every failure, and every delay serves a purpose. The obstacles you face are not punishments. They are tools shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable of carrying the success you desire. If you were given everything you wanted instantly, without the process of growth, you would not have the strength to hold it. Transformation prepares you. It refines you in the fire of struggle, teaches you patience, and builds resilience that no race can provide. To embrace transformation is to accept that the journey itself is as important as the outcome. The habits you develop, the discipline you practice, the perspective you gain, all of these are part of your success. Without them, external achievements are shallow and fragile. A person may win the race by reaching the goal quickly, but if they have not transformed within, their success will not last. Transformation ensures that when you achieve, you have the character to sustain it. Seeing success as transformation also shifts your relationship with time. Instead of rushing, you begin to value the slow process of becoming. You understand that seasons exist for a reason. There are times to plant, times to wait, and times to harvest. Impatience breaks people because they want to skip seasons. But transformation honors the rhythm of life. Just as a seed cannot bloom into a tree overnight, you cannot rush the unfolding of your potential. Transformation is gradual, and it is this very slowness that gives it power. Success as transformation also means shedding old versions of yourself. Growth requires letting go of beliefs, habits, and identities that no longer serve you. Each stage of transformation demands that you release something from the past to make room for what is coming. This process can be painful because the familiar often feels safer than the unknown. But courage in transformation means trusting that who you are becoming is worth more than who you were. When you embrace success as transformation, comparison loses its grip. You no longer measure yourself against others because you see that their journey is not your own. They are running their race, living their transformation, and you are living yours. The only measure that matters is whether you are growing, evolving, and stepping into a truer version of yourself each day. This perspective frees you from envy and insecurity because you understand that success is not about being first, it is about becoming whole. Every transformation is unique, shaped by your experiences, your struggles, and your choices. What looks like delay to others may be the exact time you need to prepare for the weight of your purpose. What looks like failure may be the exact lesson required to refine your vision. Transformation is not linear. It does not move in straight lines, and it does not follow a predictable schedule. It bends, it stretches, it pauses, and yet every moment contributes to the becoming. One decision can change everything. Life often feels overwhelming, filled with countless choices, endless possibilities, and a future that stretches out like an unsolved puzzle. People convince themselves that transformation requires years, that success demands endless effort, that change is only possible through a long, complicated process. But the truth is that everything begins with one decision. A single moment of clarity, a single choice made with conviction, has the power to redirect the entire course of your life. The weight of change does not rest on the number of decisions you make, but on the depth and power of the one you commit to fully. One decision can shift your path because decisions carry energy. They mark the point where intention transforms into action. As long as you remain undecided, you are trapped in hesitation, pulled between options, wasting energy in conflict. But the moment you decide, the moment you choose with certainty, all that scattered energy focuses into movement. You stop drifting and begin walking. Even if the road ahead is unclear, the act of deciding creates momentum. That momentum is often what people lack, and once it begins, life responds. Opportunities that were hidden reveal themselves. People who can support your vision appear. The world around you rearranges itself to align with the strength of your decision. The power of one decision lies not in its size, but in its commitment. Some believe they must decide on enormous, life-altering changes to see impact, but often it is the smaller, consistent decisions that reshape a destiny. Choosing to wake up earlier, to commit to discipline, to speak truth instead of silence, to walk away from what is toxic. These decisions may seem small, but they ripple outward, affecting every corner of life. One decision creates habits, habits create character, and character creates destiny. One decision can also end cycles that have held you for years. People remain stuck not because they are powerless, but because they avoid making the decision to break free. They know the relationship is draining them, but they stay. They know the job is killing their spirit, but they delay. They know their habits are destroying their potential, but they postpone. Change is not blocked by circumstance, as much as it is blocked by indecision. The moment you decide that enough is enough, that you will no longer tolerate what weakens you, the chains begin to break. That single decision can release years of stagnation. There is also the courage that one decision demands. Decisions carry risk, because to choose one path means letting go of another. Many people avoid deciding because they fear loss. They want certainty before they act, guarantees before they move. But life does not reward hesitation, it rewards commitment. When you decide, you accept the unknown. You trust yourself to handle the consequences. And it is precisely in this trust that transformation begins. One decision can change everything because decisions shape identity. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you decide to be disciplined, you are declaring to yourself that you are strong. When you decide to forgive, you are declaring that you are free. When you decide to take risks, you are declaring that you are bold. Each decision reinforces who you are, and over time, these identities create a life that reflects your inner truth. The beauty of one decision is that it collapses the illusion of waiting. So many live in the belief that they need the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect set of circumstances before they act. But perfection never arrives. The future will always be uncertain. The risks will always exist. The doubts will always whisper. The only thing that breaks the cycle of waiting is a decision made now. One decision removes the excuses, silences the fears, and begins the motion toward a different life. One decision can change everything, not because the decision itself carries magic, but because it changes you. It shifts your state from passive to active, from wishing to doing, from hoping to becoming. The decision becomes the seed, and once planted, it grows into actions, habits, and results you could not have imagined before. Every transformation, every breakthrough, every story of success can be traced back to that single moment when someone finally decided. Success is not something distant, not something reserved for the chosen few. It is within you, waiting to be unlocked. It is not about chasing endlessly, but about aligning your heart, your vision, and your actions. It is not built on fleeting achievements, but on the strength you carry within. It is not found in noise, but in the silence that reveals your truth. It is not handed to those who cling to comfort, but to those who show courage and embrace sacrifice. It is not a race to be won quickly, but a transformation to be lived deeply. And above all, it is not an endless list of possibilities. It is one decision away. One choice made with conviction can change everything.